Okay, fam. I'll do a series of short videos on how I make my various teas. There is no set, what you would say, formula for the teas. Formulas are considered precise. This is more of a loose recipe. And I based it on just generally trying different stuff that I read from other herbalists and what I hear and research. So I try stuff on myself, and it seems like this tea has produced good effects, at least for me and other family members. And a lot of people have been saying, Dad, please, Uncle Vic, Paw, whatever, show us how you make your tea. And I've been hesitant because it's not always precise, but I do use certain things regularly, and I'll mix in different herbs and stuff as I come across them to see how they affect me. And I'm going to share this with you. So this is kind of the beginning. I originally started doing this with a normal, approximately 1 gallon crock pot. But because so many people been crashing and coming by from family and friends drinking tea, I went to this approximately 2 gallon crock pot. And I like it because you could pull the thing out and wash it, and because the others I had, you had to be careful when you wash it because the electrical stuff is part of those crock pots. So when you put it, wash it, you have to make sure you don't get that wet. Well, this one I can pull out. I'll come up with a link and text it to you guys. Where I got that one, you may find even something better. Hell, but right now it seems like I need a 4 gallon one. I just cleaned it out with the tea I had. I have a routine on how I make tea. So I got this jar here just to put the other tea I had in here. And I'll drink it from here or warm it up if I want. And sometimes as this tea goes down, if I have some left, I'll just pour it in there and use the rest of it. But I don't waste the tea. The way I do tea is usually like today is Sunday. I'll make tea Sunday morning and put it in the crock pot, heat it up. It usually takes about maybe 3 or 4 hours for some of the stuff, especially the ginger root, to really get into the mix the way I like it, because you can tell it gets real spicy when the ginger root is in there. And I'll keep that tea, turn it on and off during the, at night, turn it off during the day, have it on warm or whatever, and sip it during the day. But I'll keep that tea, and as it goes down, I'll put more distilled water. And I only use distilled water, mainly distilled water I make myself. But if you don't have that distilled water you get from, Kroger's, Myers, or whatever, I suggest distilled water. I suggest actually get a water distiller and make your own water distilled so you don't have it out of a plastic container. I try to avoid plastic and use water, or you could go to the osmosis stations or whatever. I know Rick Poole has it, other places have them, but get pure water. I'm leery about bottled spring water. I do want to go start making trips to Yellow Springs. I understand they have true springs that you can get spring water from, where I'm interested in. But for this purpose, distilled is perfectly fine. After all, you're adding the minerals when you do the tea. You're adding it, so you're in control of that mixture. So anyway, I use distilled water. But right now, when I'm done with the tea, I usually pour it in a large container, and I use this is a nut milk bag that you can get. Just pour it through this when I put it in that large container. So if there's any residue, and you're going to have some residue in the tea anyway, you're using real herbal roots. And then even the stuff that I'm putting in tea bags, some of that still seeps out into the water. So you're going to have some residue, but that residue is good. That's the minerals and health stuff. So I use everything organic. One of the things I use regularly is Ceylon Cinnamon. And I hope this doesn't show backwards on the screen. I think it doesn't. But it's organic, and I only get organic. Ceylon Cinnamon Powder. You can get whatever kind of organic Ceylon cinnamon you want, but this is what I use. I also use a little bit in my mixture too. I'm just showing you some of the things. I use some organic cayenne pepper in there too. Now I get this from Star West. Like I said, look around. I prefer things that are organic and wildcrafted. Wildcrafted means that it grows really natural. Organic means there's no pesticides and other stuff in it. That is still political, unfortunately, which means the rules of organic food and stuff can be politicized to where, oh, it's organic if you use only a little bit of pesticide. So anyway, I try to get as pure as I can. The ultimate is for us to grow our own. You grow your own, you don't use anything, you know what's going in, where you have it, and it's extremely, so farmer's market and all that is cool. Enough of that. Okay, this is stuff I use regularly. I also use regularly, and I get various kinds of, I think I got a brand new one here. I use various kinds of Yerba Mate. Yerba Mate, which is Yerbamate, called Yerba Mate. It's an herb, usually grows in South America. It's my new coffee. I have kicked the coffee habit. That was hard to do. But Yerba Mate has natural organic caffeine in it. And of course, I only get organic. I look for Wildcrafted. I get various kinds of Yerba Mate. Here's another one I use too. I experiment with different ones, these are the staples. The cinnamon, some cayenne, Yerba Mate, and where is it? Ginger root. Now, I've already washed the ginger root here, but I use whole ginger root, and y'all can thank Vinay, because at one time I was doing all kinds of stuff, trying to cut it up, peel it, and she said, Dad, why don't you just put the whole thing in there? And I found out that actually is way better. So I just rinse it off. Unfortunately, I have to rinse it out of tap water. I avoid that as much as possible. But I rinse it off quickly to get any loose dust, dirt, or pieces of peeling on it. And I usually break it into smaller pieces so more of it is exposed. And I just put this right in the pot. Now, I'm generous with it. Experiment for yourself to see how much you want. There's times where in these pots of teas, I'll make the tea, like I said, on Sunday. And then about Wednesday, I do what's called recharge, and I'll take some of the tea that's been sitting in there, not the ginger root, but some of the tea that I put in tea bags, and take it out of there, drain and clean those tea bags, or one of them, and put some fresh tea in those bags and put it back in the water. Because what I do is, as I drink out of this, I'll put more distilled water in. I'll put more distilled water in, and a little bit of what I use as sweetener right now is agave syrup. You can get various kind. I try to get raw or organic raw, whatever. But agave is not as healthy as date syrup. Agaves and honey are just not that good. If you want to use it, that's fine. But for your body, dates are the best. Date, it actually digests better in your system. It's healthier for you. And actually, dates are sweeter. So I'm now starting to use date syrup. But right now, I'm using the rest of the agave. And I'm going to switch completely to date syrup as my sweetener for that, teas, and anything else I use sweetener on. Just from my research on agave. Let's see, what else? Now, we get into some of the other herbs that I use along with those herbs. And one I've been using lately is Blue Vervain. And also on this one, you'll see plus Stinging Nettle. Stinging Nettle actually is a herb that, or a weed. We think weeds are messed up, but Stinging Nettle is grows pretty rampant in Ohio. It's a very healthy herb, so I usually use that. I've just started Blue Vervain because I like this one channel, Keen Paris channel, where he talks about herbs and some other brothers. So I use this in there. I've been using Anamu. And Anamu is a different tasting kind of herb, you know, but it's extremely good cleanser. It gets a lot of mucus out of your body, toxins. Yeah, anything that does that increases your energy. So your energy level goes up, your sexuality strength goes up, your ability to exercise, everything. It's antioxidant. So it cleanses the toxins in your body, which actually is what the reason we get what we call colds, flus, pneumonia, and all this other garbage, is because we're in toxic environments or we're under heavy psychological stress. Now, these are the main things. I do use what's called elderberry, and I put elderberry in the tea too. So this is kind of the fruit in it. Elderberry is another antioxidant. Anything that's antioxidant is helping your body, because oxidation, if you have any basic science, if you oxidize metal, it turns to rust. Oxidation slows, it's actually what does aging to our body, breaks down cells. So antioxidants brings oxygen into your body, you know, helps you to keep from getting, helps you from eroding through oxidation. So it's antioxidant. This is one, cinnamon's one, it's a bunch of others. Now I'm going to cut this video short, and I'm going to do another one where I'm doing some actual mixing. So, alright, I hope this is helpful.